Imagine being a chicken, eating seeds, and fighting cats for 100 days. On day 1, I spawned in as a baby chicken with only 2 hearts. Suddenly, my chicken coop was invaded by a fox who started killing my fellow chickens. I gotta get out of here. I'm too young to die. I escaped into a jungle, but I wasn't safe yet because an ocelot started chasing me. No. Why do chickens have so many predators? To escape, I jumped off a tall tree. I glided down to a safe landing far away, leaving the ocelot behind. Once I was in the clear, I headed back to my chicken coop. Whew, that fox is gone, but so is my chicken friends. Exhausted from being on the run all day, I laid down to sleep for the night. When I woke up on day 2, I found an egg next to me. Did I lay an egg? Putting that mystery out of my mind, I got some wood and stone to make a stone axe, pickaxe, and sword. These tools are nice, but I can't use them on an empty stomach. I headed back to the town and took some food from the farmers. With my stomach full, it was time to find a place to make my new home. But while I was traveling, I noticed someone was following me. It's the ocelot again. Well, I guess if I can't outrun you, I've got to fight you instead. My limited health wasn't going to hold out for long, but thankfully, someone came to my rescue.
Don't worry, little chicken. I'll save you.
The ocelot got scared and ran away. I asked my savior who he was and why he helped me.
I'm Steve, and I'm on a vegan kick right now, so I'm saving all the animals I can from being eaten.
Well, I owe you my life, Steve. I hope we meet again so I can repay you. Steve told me to take care of myself, and I continued on my way. On day 3, I found a nice forest to call my home. I started building a base by cutting down some trees and using their wood to make a small hut, filling it with chests and furnaces. It's small, but it's mine. One day I'll expand it into the chicken coop of my dreams. I also built a little farm to plant the crops that I took from the village, but that didn't solve all my food dilemmas. I know chickens should like seeds, but they're not filling at all. I made the tough decision to break from the mold and make some bread to eat instead. It paid off because after I ate it, I grew into a full-sized chicken. Oh, I have 5 hearts now. Oh, it's not much, but every heart counts. That night, my base was attacked by zombies. I might be tiny, but I'll still defend my home. I was able to kill a few of them, but when a baby zombie ran at me, I knew I had to retreat. On second thought, you guys can have the forest for tonight. I'll just stay inside. On days 4 and 5, I made it my mission to upgrade my tools. So I went mining for coal and iron. Once I had enough, I went back to my hut, smelted the iron, and crafted new iron tools and a shield. Haha! Try and get me now, zombies. I used the extra coal to light my base up with torches. When I finished, the ocelot suddenly attacked me. I guess you found my base, huh? Well, I've gotten stronger since we last met, and I was able to defeat the ocelot. Oh my gosh, I actually did it! I continued working on the base, expanding the farm to fit as much wheat as one chicken could desire. I also crafted a bucket and brought some water for the plants. I'd eventually use it to make nests, both for myself and for any other chickens who needed a place to stay. I can't wait to make this place all cozy. I needed wool for a huge building project, so I went out and searched for some sheep. They followed me home, and I made them a cozy place to live. Oh, well, I'm glad you guys like it. I also wanted to tell the sheep that this channel just hit 1 million subscribers. We are so grateful for all of them. But we still have a bunch of viewers that aren't subscribed yet. So what are we waiting for? Let's get to 2 million subscribers. I used their wool to make a bed and called it a night. On days 6 through 8, I went out to search for more of my kind. I knew it was a tough world for a little chicken, so we needed to band together. Sure enough, I found a little yellow chicken who was all alone. Aw, what are you doing all by yourself, little guy? I knew I had to help him get back home, but before we could start searching, we were attacked by some wolves. Oh no, go hide, little chick. I was so inspired by his bravery. Together, we fought off the wolves. He was so grateful that I stuck by his side. He said I was his new best friend. Since it was getting dark out, we decided to rest for a night before trying to find Rocky's family. We found a cave that had lots of iron, so I mined it to craft a full iron armor set for myself and some tools for Rocky. Here you go, bud. I know you're tough, but having the right equipment makes it a lot easier to defend yourself. With that, we laid down in our shelter for the night. On days 9 and 10, Rocky and I set out to search for his home. After looking for a while, we seemed to be getting close. Suddenly, our progress came to a halt when we were attacked attacked by a snow leopard. We fought hard, and Rocky made good use of the weapons I'd given him. I was so glad I had new armor, because that cat had some sharp claws. In the end, Rocky dealt the final blow, knocking the snow leopard off a cliff to its death. Oh my gosh, that was amazing! You did it, Rocky! When we were done celebrating our victory, Rocky said he knew the way home from here. He ran down the mountain as quickly as he could, and when we arrived, he was reunited with his parents.
Oh, Rocky, thank goodness you're okay. I thought we lost you forever. However, did you make it back home?
Hi! Rocky introduced me to his parents, and they invited me to stay for the night. After having some seeds for dinner, we all headed to bed. On the night of day 11, I had a strange dream that I was in the presence of a buff, evil cat.
Enjoy your time while you can, little bird. I'm forming a cat army.
What do you need this army for? Why not just have peace?
Peace? Ha! When you're a predator, peace is never an option.
Well, I'm not a predator.
You fool! I will enslave all of your kind, and then all the cats in my army will feast on your flesh.
Not if we stop you first. I woke up in panic. Oh, what was I even thinking? Not if we stop you first. I couldn't even stop a fox. On days 12 through 14, I needed to head back home. But first, I warned the chickens about the evil buff cat's plans. You guys have to be careful. He's creating a cat army to enslave all chickens. I tried to convince them, but they just wrote me off.
Oh dear, that sounds too dramatic to be true. No cat could pull that off.
I was about to leave, but Rocky stopped me. Well, I don't know if your mom would like that, but all right, let's run quickly before they notice. Rocky and I snuck away and started heading towards the base. And on the way, we ran into a fox. That fox looks familiar. I think it's the one that killed my family. Together, Rocky and I attacked the fox. Our practice fighting together from earlier came in handy, and we were able to take him down. Yeah, that one was for my family. You deserve it, you devious killer. Later, we arrived back at the base. I knew we'd need to expand the base to give Rocky a space of his own. I built him his own little coop next to mine, and I gathered some wheat and crafted nests for myself and Rocky. I'm glad you like it, buddy. From days 15 to 18, I was spending my morning working on the farm. Everything was quiet until Rocky yelled out and got my attention. Wow, these carrots grew fast. What are you talking about? Ah, creepers! In my morning grogginess, I missed the fact that there were still creepers around from the night before. Rocky and I fought hard, trying our best to protect what we had built. Thanks for the heads up, Rocky. If you hadn't been here, it could have been a lot worse. After Rocky and I finished fixing up all the craters around the base, I figured it was as good time as any to start working on the statue. I ground up yellow flowers to make some dye and made a few of my sheep yellow. I sheared the wool and started working on the chicken statue. I figured I could start from the legs upward. This is actually pretty nice so far, but it seemed that I spoke too soon. Before I knew it, a lone creeper showed up and destroyed the legs of the statue in its explosion. Aw, man. I need something to protect the base and statue. I couldn't get a cat because, well, they might try to eat me. So I needed an alternative. I thought really hard about it, and then it came to me. I've got it. I went down into the mines and didn't stop collecting iron until I had enough for at least 36 iron ingots. I smelted the ore down and made 4 blocks of iron. So I placed them down like this, some arms, and finally, the pumpkin on top. I used some shears on the pumpkin, and all of a sudden, I had successfully constructed an iron golem for the base. Awesome! Hopefully this means I won't have to worry about any more creepers or intruders at the base. For days 19 through 22, I was visited by a cool-looking chicken riding a skateboard.
What up, loser? Ha, look at this dumb base. Such a stupid design. LOL.
Did you just spell out LOL instead of laughing?
Yeah, so, whatever. Point is, your base ain't got nothing on mine.
I decided to call his bluff, and I followed him to his base. Wait, this is it?
You jealous? This place has plenty of room to skate.
Actually, it doesn't even look like you did any work on this base. Which, since this is Minecraft, just having an open field as a base is pretty lame.
Who cares what you think?
As I was about to head back home, the skater chicken suddenly got attacked by a pack of coyotes.
Help! They're gonna eat me!
Even though this chicken was a bully, I still didn't want to see another chicken be harmed. So I fought off the coyotes, who weren't actually that tough in the first place. You good, dude?
I could have handled that myself, nerd.
Sure you could have. Finally, I got to head back home. And when I did, I was surprised to see that Rocky's dad was there.
Bronzo, my home was attacked by the buff cat, just like you had predicted. I'm sorry for doubting you, but I need your help.
And just like that, I headed back to the chicken village to see if there were any survivors. On days 23 through 27, I made it to the chicken village. It used to be full of all kinds of chickens, but only Rocky's mom was left.
Oh, Bronzo, thank you for coming. You have to help. Our dear daughter's been taken by that awful cat. I never should have doubted you.
No hard feelings. I don't know where he took your daughter, but I'll do everything I can to find her. She thanked me, and I led her back to my base. After we arrived, I built a new chicken coop for Rocky's parents, since their old home was destroyed.
I'm worried sick about my daughter, but your kindness makes this whole ordeal a little better. Thank you.
Anytime, Mrs. Chicken. Rocky spent some time with his parents, and I couldn't help but feel sad that I didn't have a family like he did. Oh no, I don't want to intrude on your family time. I felt a lot better after being welcomed by Rocky's family, and I started working on a giant nest out of hay bales. It was going well, but I got interrupted by a cat intruding at our base. Hey, get out of here! This is a chicken community, and you're not wanted. You won't get the chance. I fought the cat to defend our base. I couldn't let the buff evil cat ruin this place like he had with Rocky's old home. After I killed the cat, I felt like I'd grown stronger. Hey, I have 3 more hearts now. Awesome! From days 28 to 32, I set out to save Rocky's sister from the buff cat. If I were a giant cat that kidnapped a chicken, where would I go? I concluded that the cat would most likely be somewhere in the jungle, given their affiliation with tall trees. When I got to the jungle, I ventured deeper to explore. Whoa, is that a jungle pyramid? I found it in the heart of the jungle. That must be where they're hiding. I was so focused on saving Rocky's sister that I fell for a super obvious trap. Oh! Ouch! Ah, where did that come from? Oh, I continued to explore more carefully and was able to disassemble the other traps in the pyramid. Haha! Bingo! I got 2 diamonds and feral claws for my troubles, but neither Rocky's sister nor the cat were anywhere to be found. Well, a diamond sword isn't the worst consolation prize. After I crafted my new sword, I packed up my things and left. But there was a tiger outside the pyramid, and it seemed like he was waiting for me.
I see the traps were not enough to subdue you. I suppose that is to be expected of the chicken who dreams of defeating the buff cat.
You know me?
Of course I know you. Your hubris is remarkable.
What do you want?
If I kill you here and now, my master will be oh so grateful. He might even promote me for removing this thorn in his side.
Not happening, mister. You don't stand a chance.
Oh, little thing. Your death will be one most foul.
That was terrible. The tiger and I fought. He was a lot tougher than I expected.
You're finished, Bronzo.
I can't die here. Not now. I was sure I would die. But just then, an arrow zipped out from the brush and struck the tiger. It was Steve.
I recommend you hightail it out of here.
What is it with you people? When I turned around, the tiger was gone. Thank you for saving me, Steve.
No problem.
And with that, he disappeared. If the tiger was here, that must mean that the buff cat's base is nearby. I'm getting closer. I made it out of the jungle on days 33 to 37, and I found a pillager outpost. Wait, where are all the pillagers? It looked like the place was abandoned until I got to the top and found a bunch of chickens locked up in a cage. Yes, I found you guys. I'm here to rescue you. I set them free, and I noticed one of them was pink and really pretty. She told me her name was Ginger, and that she was Rocky's sister. Ginger! Oh, that's a really nice name. I was a bit nervous around Ginger, but I quickly pulled myself together and led everyone away from this outpost. Before the buff cat shows up and sees that his prisoners have gone. We gotta go through the jungle, everyone. Luckily, I was able to get all the chickens through the jungle, unharmed. Sounds good. I'll come back to the chicken village to check on y'all sometime. I told Ginger that her family is living at my base now and asked her if she wanted me to take her there. So Ginger traveled with me back to my place, and when we got there, she was acquainted with her family.
Thank you so much for bringing our baby back home.
Of course, always happy to help, but the reunion was cut short when the tiger from earlier showed up and instantly killed Rocky's mom. No! I had to protect everyone else, so I started fighting the tiger, and Rocky joined in too, to take revenge for his mother's death. This large cat was still very powerful, but with Rocky's help, we were able to take down the beast. I'm so sorry this happened. It must have followed us here. We held a little funeral for Rocky's mom, complete with a chicken statue and a nest. I am sorry for your loss, but I know how you feel. This can be tough, and I just want to say that if you need a friend, I am here for all of you. On days 38 through 40, I decided to check in with Rocky's family. At least, what was left of them. Hey, Mr. Rocky's dad, what's with all this stuff?
I'm returning to our village. I need to be there to help rebuild.
Does that mean Ginger is coming with you? Rocky's dad told me that at the moment, there's nothing for her to return to, and she'd prefer to stay here at the base. Be safe, Mr. Rocky's dad.
You can call me Sylvester.
I continued building the giant nest, making the floor out of hay barrels. With the nest finally finished, all I need to do is make the giant egg. I left for the mines and searched for diamonds. I successfully found enough for an axe and pickaxe, but I hit a snag on my way back to the surface. Oh, cave spiders! Their venom was annoying, but nothing I couldn't handle. Some of the spiders even dropped some string. Oh, I know what I want to do with this. I mined gravel for some flint and made a bow with a couple of arrows. I should get some practice in so that I can really use this thing in a pinch. Oh, let's try some husk in the Badlands. My arrows flew swiftly and my aim was true. I was on fire. Before I knew it, all the husks were slain. Oh, that's it? While I was there in the Badlands, I picked up some white and yellow terracotta, just in case I needed it for the statue. From days 41 through 43, I was traveling back home until I crossed paths with the buff cat. Oh crap! I bravely hid behind a log to evade their sight. Phew! Wait, who is that? They were talking to some kind of mutant cat, ordering him to find my base and burn it to the ground. This is bad. I hope they don't find my base. I stealthily followed the mutant cat for a couple of miles. It became clear that he had no idea where my base was. I gotta stop him before he accidentally finds it. I need to strike first. I emerged from the bushes and initiated a fight. I could tell he wasn't expecting me because he jumped up and then ran over the water. How did you even do that? No, but seriously, how are you doing? Ah! The mutant cat was now on the attack. He used his water walking abilities to maintain space between the two of us, allowing him to dictate the pace of the battle. Ugh, this is so frustrating. He's basically cheating. With a well-placed strike from the diamond sword, I killed the mutant cat. I did it. Oh, and it dropped something. Boots of water walking? This must be what he was using. I slipped them on and tried them out myself. Just like the mutant cat, I was now able to run across the water. So cool! Rocky and the rest are gonna love these. And so, I continued my journey back home. On days 44 through 49, I wanted to finish up the body of the chicken. It took a little while to get the dimensions right, but I was able to do it. Ooh, nice. So far, so good. I picked some nearby roses and crushed them down to make some red dye for the sheep. I'll need some red wool for the dangly bits on my neck. When I finished dyeing one or two of the sheep, Ginger approached me with a question. She wanted to do a weekend trip to see her dad, just to check up on him. Sure, Ginger. Pack up your things and follow me. I guided her back to the chicken village, but when we got there, something seemed off. Hello? Mr. Ginger and Rocky's dad? Are you there? We searched around the area and found some collected building materials, but no chickens. Ginger had put into words what I had been thinking for a while now, but I could not let her see my concern. Don't worry, I'll find your dad and bring him back safely. After returning Ginger to the base, I went out on my own to search for the buff cat's new base. Wherever the buff cat is, so is Ginger and Rocky's dad. During my search, I found a pillager outpost, like the one from before. Only difference was this one still had pillagers. There's so many of them. I'm gonna need to take them out one at a time. That plan worked kinda well, since a lot of them ganged up on me. Uh-oh, okay. There's a lot of you guys. Then I needed to improvise. There were a lot of them, but I used my shield and timed out when they would shoot an arrow. And in between shots, I hit them with my sword. Finally, I won the fight. And at the top of the outpost was a chest. Oh goody, what's in here? I found a few bottles of enchantment and a crossbow with a flame enchantment. With my new loot in hand, I left to continue my search. On days 50 through 53, I continued traveling through all sorts of biomes, searching for the buff cat's new base. I was passing through the savannah when I met some emus. Hey there, you think you guys would want to live with a bunch of other birds? I gave them directions to my base, and we parted ways so I could continue my search. I traveled along a river and found a lot more birds there. Look at all those chickens!
Actually, those are geese.
Ah, where'd you come from, Steve? And it was a joke. You think I can't tell geese from chickens? I asked Steve to guide these geese back to my base and continue on my way into the tundra. And while I was there, I met some seals who had a challenge for me. They explained that the polar bears were killing all the fish in the oceans, leaving none behind for the other animals to eat. That's awful! Well, since you have information about the buff cat, I'll help you with your fish problem if you help me out. I just made a deal with a seal. With that, I headed out to fulfill my end of the bargain. From days 54 to 58, I searched for the polar bears that were taking all the seal's fish. It didn't take long, and soon I was slashing at their throats. You can't take food from other animals, especially not in the name of the buff cat. The difference in size between me and the bears made the fight tougher, but I emerged victorious and gained 2 more hearts in the process. Haha! I'm stronger than ever! I explored their igloos and found entire chests full of fish. I couldn't carry it all, but I took some of it back to the seals and told them where they could find the rest. Just doing my job, ma'am. The seals kept their side of the bargain and told me that I needed to get out of the tundra, travel through the desert, and once I reach the savannah, I won't be far from the buff cat's base. Back to the savannah, I guess. However, when I got to the desert, I hit a roadblock. I ran into some Komodo dragons. They tried to eat me alive, but they picked the wrong chicken to mess with. Looks like the prey will become the predator. I fought them all and was able to outmaneuver them and outsmart them. Eventually, I won the battle, finally able to continue my journey to the savannah. On days 59 to 62, I managed to find my way back to the vast savannah. It's so huge here, but everything looks identical. While exploring, I found this strange-looking village. What is this place?
You are in this one's demise.
And who are you? I approached the massive masked creature's throne.
I am Barako, Chief of the Sun.
Oh, so you must know a lot about this place then, right?
Correct.
When I asked him if he knew about the buff cat and his prisoners, everything went silent.
Such insolent questions. Leave this place, little one, or face the glory of the sun.
You're hiding something. I know it. Where is Rocky's dad? Where is Sylvester? Barako then spoke with his deep voice. It seemed to echo and amplify.
Leave at once.
I knew it had to be done. If the Sun Chief stood in my way of saving Sylvester, then he would have to fall. Prepare to be destroyed.
Foolish of you to think I will be destroyed in this battle.
I lunged forward and attacked, and he used his sun powers on me, but I was able to slowly take down his health bar, though I was surprised when he sent out some of his minions, who started giving Barako their own life source. Oh no, his HP is regenerating.
Seize him, minions.
I had to try to carve a path through his minions and stop his health regeneration somehow. Ugh, why won't you just die? But every time I killed one minion, a new one spawned, all the while I was being attacked by Barako himself.
You are no match for me and my followers.
When I killed the followers, they sometimes would drop little masks that when worn gave me effects like swiftness and resistance. Let's try this out for size. The mask that gave me resistance helped against the followers, but Barako's solar beams could still hurt me, and hurt me a lot. I can't do it. I'm getting too low on health. My damage couldn't outpace his health regen. I had to leave and come up with a new strategy. Well, this stinks. Defeated and demoralized, I returned home to a base filled with emus and geese. I guess they really did take me up on my offer. After greeting my new guests, I looked around for Rocky and found him on top of a tree. I told him about what happened in the savannah. I knew Rocky was right, but it was getting late, and I hadn't slept in days. It'll have to wait till tomorrow, bud. From day 63 through 66, I built homes for all the emus and geese. First by clearing out an area, then placing a few buildings for them to all live in. I hope you guys like it. Yep, the noise was starting to get to me for a while, so I went spelunking for more diamonds. By the end of my mining, I had enough diamonds to craft a diamond armor set. Fancy! I should probably put this iron armor up since I'm not using it. After I built an armor stand and hung up my old armor, I went out to practice fighting on some grizzly bears. I don't remember you guys being this easy. Must be this awesome armor. Next, I sheared my sheep and then got to work on the statue again, making the head of the chicken, complete with eyes and the red wattles. Now it just needs the correct colors. Good thing I got plenty of materials from that chicken village. As I was about to continue on the statue, this fancy looking chicken in a top hat and tail suit showed up with awful news.
Young man, you must help me.
What is it? He told me that the buff cat was killing the chickens he's captured, trying to get one of them to tell him where my base was.
I barely escaped with my life. A chap by the name of Sylvester distracted them long enough so I could abscond.
Sylvester? Is he still alive?
He yet lives. For how much longer, I cannot say.
I wasn't going to waste any more time. I grabbed my gear and Rocky, and we set off to return to the savannah. On days 67 through 70, Rocky and I made it to the edge of the savannah, where we were stopped by a different mutated cat. This cat thought she would be the one to kill me, but she was wrong. Even though we were just two small chickens, we had a lot of experience fighting, and it was obvious we could overpower this cat. Take this! Yes! We did it, Rocky! You're right. Let's keep moving. We moved through the savannah, and I thought I knew the way to Baracco's base, but it was very easy to get lost. And in my confusion, we found a colony of giant ants. These things are as big as me. They were not friendly, though, and attacked Rocky and I. Ah! There's so many of them. I was able to keep my ground, but Rocky was suddenly picked up by one of the ants and taken into a cave system. I'll save you, but first I got my own problems. It took a while, but I was able to kill all these ants on the surface. But it was too late. Rocky was already long gone, but I had to try and find him in the caves. This is a lot of caves. I hope I don't get lost. And getting lost is exactly what I did. There was no way for me to know which way the ants went, but I kept on searching for my best bud, Rocky. It was now days 71 through 74, and I was still lost in the caves, until finally I got really lucky and found Rocky on a platform, dangling over a pit full of nether frogs. I'll save you, Rocky. I started killing off the frogs, just in case Rocky might fall in. I used my crossbow, but they had these crazy tongues that sucked me into the inside of the trap. Finally, Rocky had enough and helped me kill the frogs. Rocky, are you okay? Let's get out of here. I need to see the sunlight again. Good idea. Before we left, we looted the area, and it looks like the ants really like emeralds for some reason. Rocky gave me an arachnid hammer. This thing will destroy blocks in a 3x3 radius. I can use this to dig us out of here. I tunneled us up to the surface, and we were back in the savannah, ready to find Baracco and save Rocky's dad. From days 75 to 78, I was back on my search for Baracco's base, until I stumbled across some familiar architecture. There it is, Rocky. Baracco the Sun Chief. Trust me, he's one tough customer. I approached the Sun Chief's throne for the second time. Hopefully, this one goes in my favor. Baracco?
Not tired of losing to me yet, little one? You will learn your place soon enough.
Not again. This time, I brought backup.
I see. Now you have an audience to watch your demise.
The Sun Chief started pounding his belly, spitting out more of his masked minions. Then I will give your friends a good show. With the massive amount of minions there, Rocky and I worked together to cut them down to size, while dodging bolts of lightning raining down from the sky. But it felt like every time we defeated a minion, two more took its place. This is impossible. There's too many of them. Rocky took on the minions, distracting them from the real threat. Me. I was getting so close. This time I was able to outpace his consistently regenerating health.
How is this possible? The buff cat told me you were all bark and no bite.
I maintained my balance even through his terrible joke and struck him down for the final blow. After Baracco fell, the rest of his minions disappeared. Shortly after, I began to feel strange. What is this? What's going on? The next thing I knew, I had transformed into a chicken many times my original size, and I had 20 hearts. Whoa, look at all this health. And I can double jump. And then I saw Baracco dropped his own mask too. Whoa, hold on. What exactly does this thing do? The Soul Visage allows me to summon minions of my own if I have it equipped, and right-click with the other masks. When you and I are together, we're a two-chicken army. You're right. Maybe. Wait a minute. I summoned one of the new minions and asked them where the chickens were being held. He told me where. And so we headed up the hill and freed all the chickens, including Rocky's dad. As heartwarming as this reunion was, I knew we didn't have time to idle. We gotta get going, guys. We need to get back to the base. Follow me and stay close. By day 79 to 84, we all stopped by the old chicken village and stripped it for the materials, taking whatever we could get. This should be enough. Everyone, let's head to your new home. I got back to the base and started making mushroom-themed houses for the chickens to help them feel right at home and to match their old village. Now everyone is safe and sound. I then used some of my extra mushrooms to make soup for everyone. Even though chickens typically don't eat soup, they still wanted to try it. Glad you like it. But that night, horror struck, and some of the chickens turned into zombies. There must have been something wrong with the mushrooms in that soup. I didn't want to kill any of my new friends, so I lured them into a hut and locked them inside. Now what do? I need to get them back to normal. Just then, a doctor chicken came up to me.
You're going to need weakness potions in order to cure them. That is the best way I know to help them.
But I don't have time to go to the Nether to get materials and make a brewing stand.
Then you are going to need the help of a witch.
He was right. I needed the potions, and having a witch make them for me is the easiest way to get them. I then set off to find a swamp with a witch's hut. For the days of 85 to 89, I went searching for a witch in a swamp. Look, a little hut. This must be the place. When I approached the hut, the cat looked very scared of me.
Oh, Whiskers, what's wrong? Never seen an oversized chicken?
So sorry to bother you, but can I borrow some weakness potions? Some of my chicken friends have turned into zombies.
I see. Well, what's in it for me?
Do anything you need. A favor for a favor. She told me that there's a werewolf in a cave not far from here who has been terrorizing her and her pets.
If you kill this werewolf for me, I will give you the weakness potions.
She gave me the directions to the cave, and when I got there, she was right. A werewolf was waiting for me. Look, I'm sorry, but I have to kill you.
Please don't hurt me. I'm defenseless and young, and I've done nothing wrong.
But the witch told me you were killing her pets.
I would never do such a thing. I only eat wild boar.
The werewolf explained to me that the witch is tricking me. She works for the buff cat and has killed all the werewolf's family for him. That's awful. I want to help you get revenge for your family's death. I then left to go confront the witch, and when I got there, she admitted to everything.
You should have just killed the werewolf like I asked, instead of trying to stand up to me and the evil buff cat.
She then started throwing potions at me, trying to kill me, but I was fast with my weapon, and even used my crossbow to get ranged shots on her.
This cannot be my end. I still have so much to do for my master.
And just like that, I killed the witch! I then searched through her hut and found the weakness potions I needed. Finally, with this side quest done, it was time to go back home and cure my zombie chicken friends. On days 90 to 93, I got back home and threw the potions at the zombie chickens. Oh great, they're back to normal. Welcome back, everyone. Sorry that soup made you sick. With that done, it was time to finish up the chicken statue, using the different shades of white and yellow to give it a more realistic look. Man, it really looks like a giant chicken. After I finished that, the werewolf showed up. How did you find my base?
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, that's fair. He wanted to thank me for helping him and killing that witch once and for all.
Here, I wanted to give you these. I have some enchantment books you can have. I've got a thorns one for your armor, as well as protection.
He also gave me sharpness for my axe and knockback for my sword. Thank you. I really appreciate this.
It was my pleasure. Oh, and Bronzo, one more favor.
Anything. What is it?
Save the world from that evil buff cat.
You can count on me. I went over to my base to make an anvil and enchanted all my stuff. But once that was done, I stepped outside to the worst thing ever. The buff cat had Ginger on a lead.
I finally found you, and now I'll make you pay by taking this little pink chick from you.
Set her free. I tried to fight the buff cat, but after hitting him and then him hitting me back, he sent out his goons on me.
Kill him for me.
I had to deal with the mutant cats attacking me, so I wasn't able to follow the buff cat and let him get away. No, he took Ginger. I tried to kill all the mutant cats, but I missed one of them, and it really hurt Rocky. This was a tragedy. I needed to be here for Rocky as he recovered, but I also needed to save Ginger. Then you need to rest first. We will save her soon. I promise you. From days 94 through 96, I could sense my journey was coming to an end. I had almost reached 100 days, but completing the challenge was the furthest thing from my mind. There was still so much to do. I need to think. Maybe finishing the nest statue will clear my head. I used sand to match the egg color, as well as different types of wood to make the shading. When I finished the nest statue, a creeper appeared while I was admiring my handiwork. Whoa, not today, buddy. Where's that iron golem when I need him? I had to kill the creeper before it could so much as think of blowing up. Blowing up? Wait, that's it! With newfound inspiration, I hunted hundreds of creepers, gathering their gunpowder. Surely this will even the playing field. With stacks of sand gathered, I crafted tons of TNT. Whoa, it's nearly a whole stack! Rocky, you're fully healed! He said that there was no way he'd let me take on the buff cat by myself. Even though Rocky was ready to go, there was still one last thing I needed to do. Everyone, I'm leaving to fight the buff cat, and I may not return, but I need everyone to stay here. The goose asked if there was anything else he could do. Well, it would mean the world to me if you subscribed, hit the like button, and comment what challenge you want to see me do next. Oh yeah, and be sure to hit the bell so you don't miss any new videos. Thanks, everyone. Yep, goodbye! Now with our goodbyes out of the way, Rocky and I set out one final time for the jungle, where the buff cat's base is. For days 97 and 98, we passed through the desert and met some roadrunners, but they had a warning for Rocky and I. They told us that there is a mutant fox who is guarding the edge of the jungle. Thank you for the warning. We'll keep an eye out for them. I told the roadrunners about the base and that they are more than welcome to live there if they want, and I'll see them after I defeat the buff cat. We split up, and Rocky and I eventually got to the jungle, where there was none other but a giant mutant fox. You think you can stop us? We're taking you down. Then your boss. The fight was long. They had a lot of health and crazy scratching powers, but Rocky and I pulled through, killing the beast. Yes! Let's go! Just then, Rocky turned into a smaller version of me. Yeah, you do. Now let's use that newfound strength and get to the evil cat's base. We entered the jungle, ready for our biggest challenge yet. On day 99, we found the buff cat's base, and there were all the chickens he had imprisoned. We gotta set them all free. Rocky and I started breaking the cages, looking for Ginger, and we almost gave up since there were so many cages, but eventually we found her. This was my chance to tell Ginger how I felt. Ginger, I think after all this is over, we should hang out. You know, just the two of us. Now that Ginger was safe and she was taking everyone back to the base, it was time to focus. So Rocky and I placed the TNT all over the edge of the buff cat's base. It was day 100 and time to face off against the buff cat, who was resting in the middle of his base.
I see you have found my base. Are you ready to die here?
No, but you should be. We started a fight, and they were tough, using all sorts of powers to stun me and to set me on fire. He also had this crazy hammer that did a lot of damage, but I was able to send out my minions that used to work for Barako. They were able to distract him while I healed up. Unfortunately, they all died in the battle, but their sacrifice won't come in vain. I continued fighting and used my double jump to help me maneuver around better. This must be very overwhelming for you, having to take down an army.
I've defeated larger and stronger armies by myself before, and yours will not be my last.
I used my enchanted weapons, trying to get this cat's health down, but it was time to move on to Plan B, when Rocky yelled for me to leave the doomed base. I'm coming, Rocky!
Where are you going? Get back here and finish this battle!
Oh, I will! I hit the evil cat with my knockback sword, pushing him far away so he couldn't escape the explosions. Light him up, Rocky!
No!
And just like that, we blew up the buff cat and won the day! We did it! Yeah!